reference to circumstances in Indian agriculture, the concept of conservation agriculture. Okay, so they're asking something about conservation agriculture. Assumes significance. Which of the following fall under the conservation agricultural practice? So, any guess or how should we proceed? We've talked about sustainable agriculture also in our class. So, which one do you think is for sure there? Which one do you think is for sure? Out of 5, this and this are there, or at least one is there. So let's start eliminating. Yeah, conservation. So when you say conservation agriculture, what are all the things you will conserve? You will 2 and 4 is there. Okay, so you will conserve for sure the soil. Good. Yeah, you're right, Bhavna. So I also feel this is true. So minimum tillage is there, and this is there. What are 2 and 4 doing? 2 and 4 are helping me in soil conservation, and it is talking about conservation. 2 and 4 is definitely there. So let me strike off options which do not have both 2 and 4. Unfortunately, only one I am able to strike off. Oh, 2 I am able to strike off. Oh, good. 2 and 4. Oh, now this has become a very easy, no? Is it that easy? Using crop residues to cover soil surface, adopting minimum tillage, and this does not have 4. This does not have 2. Now this both have 2. Both have 4, both have 5, which means what is the only thing that I need to look at? Whether statement P is correct or not. What do you think? Three is correct is avoiding cultivation of plantation crops. Okay. So you are right, Vaibhav and Arun. Avoiding cultivation of plantation crops. The answer for this is 2, 4, and 5. 2, 4, and 5. So let's just look at it. 2 talks about minimum tillage. So minimum tillage means you are actually doing a water conservation also. Okay. And 4, you are doing soil conservation and moisture conservation both. And 5, adopting spatial and temporal crop sequencing and crop rotation. Yeah, which we have discussed. If you remember, we looked at strip farming. Yeah, I'm explaining that now. Adopting spatial and temporal crop sequencing. Spatial means what? In space. So if this is the field, this is crop 1. And this is crop 2. And this is crop 3. This is crop 3. This is crop 3. So that is your spatial. Now then comes your temporal. So spatial means what? All the 3 crops are done at the same time. Temporal may one after another. So when all 3 crops are done at the same time, you call it a strip cropping or polyvarietal cultivation. But when it comes to temporal, the better name is what is it? Crop rotation. Okay. Now the doubt that Abhishek and Vaibhav have raised, that's exactly the same doubt I had. Avoiding the monoculture practice seems to be a cake. It has to be. Yeah, it has to be, because the moment you have monoculture practice, it cannot really be a conservation agriculture, because if you look at it, avoid monoculture practice is also indirectly point number 5. Do you agree? Because you're doing crop rotation, crop sequencing. Yeah, but once again, this is that quirkiness of the UPSC paper. And here, how you approach becomes important. What I mean to say is, specifically to you, Vaibhav and Abhishek, the learning that I had from this question was, of the 5, the way Bhavna has zeroed in, I had the same doubt. Okay, let me start with 1. Then what I did, okay, A for sure is there, D for sure is there. That's how I actually started answering this question. Then I saw, no, zero tillage is very important. Crop residue is even more important, because these are soil management practices. Then one thing I did was to look at our own, what have we said about sustainable agriculture. So I'll just, what clicked in my mind when I had this problem. Yeah, you remember this sustainable agriculture? In that, if you look at it, we said cropping pattern. For sure, cropping pattern has to be there in the option. That's how I started. Cropping pattern to pakka hai. Biofertilizers not given in the option, so I'll leave it. Soil management is given in the option. So I felt that by the definition of sustainable agriculture, or in this case conservation agriculture, these 2 have to be there. So if these two have to be there, I better go by whatever options contain these two options. That's how I got to this. Yeah. But if there was an option like 1, 2, 4, and 5, then I would have gone for that option. But unfortunately, there is no option. No. Because if you to answer you guys the other way around is, if you are saying 1 is definitely it is not a conservation agriculture, but along with it, it is clubbed with 3, avoiding cultivation of plantation crops. Okay. So, if there was an option that all of the above, then it would have been better. It would have been better. But we don't have an option of all of the above also. So we are kind of a little constrained on arriving at the correct option. Is it clear, guys? Anyone has any further questions? Okay, so let's move on. The term sixth mass extinction or sixth extinction, the term sixth mass extinction or sixth extinction is often mentioned in the news. Yeah, I think this we had also covered. So what do you think it is? Which option do you think it is? We even talked about that lady writer, no, who has written the book by the same name, Sixth Extinction. Read through it, take your time, no problem. Okay, so 2 of you are saying D. Prachi says C. Bhavna C. Sixth extinction. Abhishek A. Okay. Navina D. Arun D. Sagarika D. Okay. Majority. D seems to be the majority. Okay. Using the context of native ecosystem. The first one is about agriculture. So if you look at where did we see the sixth extinction? If you look at it, where did we look at sixth extinction? We looked at sixth extinction when we were talking about I don't know which context we exactly said, but the book of sixth extinction also deals with the fact that the current global warming temperatures, the pace at which they are going, and the current status of ecosystem on account of global warming, it is clearly not sustainable. That is what the book also states. Yeah. So the most appropriate answer for this one is D. Okay, yeah, it is climate change. So the most appropriate option for this is D, even though there may be closer options. See, it's good that you guys have eliminated B. B for sure looks like a pure fantasy. I mean, it can happen, but that is not what sixth extinction refers to. Okay. A, C, and D are somewhat related to a doomsday scenario. That is also clear. And A and C are also similar in a way that both are touching on agriculture. Okay. But if you look at D, the option is very, very widespread. Natural resources, fragmentation of natural habitats, destruction of ecosystem, pollution, and global climate change. So it touches upon everything. Yeah. And which is what the sixth extinction is all about. So the correct answer to this question is option